That's a very interesting question, because the origin of Christianity is actually itself one of the most extraordinary phenomena in the history of the world. AD 20, there ain't such a thing as the Christian Church. By AD 120, the emperor in Rome is getting worried letters from one of his proconsuls off in northern Turkey about what to do about these Christians. So in that century, you have this extraordinary thing suddenly appearing out of nowhere. And all the early Christians for whom we have actual evidence would say, I'll tell you why it's happened, it's because of Jesus of Nazareth and the fact that he was raised from the dead. Now, if you take away Easter, it won't work, because we know of at least a dozen or so other prophetic or messianic or teaching or strange movements of this or that sort in first century Judaism, starting about 50 years before Jesus, ending up with Bar Kokhba 100 years after Jesus. In no case after them was there a continuing movement after they died, with one exception of a family from Judas around the time Jesus was a very young boy, through to his sons or grandsons, through to one of their relatives who was a leader at the time of the Jewish War 66 to 70. In other words, if your leader got killed, you had a choice, if you were still alive yourself, which you might not be. Either you had to give up the movement, or you had to find a new leader, a new Messiah. Now, in early Christianity, there were plenty of candidates. They might have said, well, Peter's a great speaker, maybe he is after all the Messiah. Or they might particularly have said, we've got James, the brother of the Lord. He is a wonderful man. He even looks a bit like his brother Jesus, for goodness sake. Maybe he is actually the Messiah. They never said anything like that. James was known simply as the brother of the Lord Jesus, the Messiah. Therefore, the historian, whether that historian be a secularist, a Muslim, a Christian, whatever, the historian has to say, how do we explain the fact that this movement spread like wildfire with Jesus as the Messiah, even though Jesus had been crucified? And the answer has to be, it can only be because he was raised from the dead.